Hello everyone and welcome to my very first commentary of Call of Duty Black Ops. I go by the name of Graphic or iGraphic. People on Xbox Live also know me as Legend Killer. Now like I said, this is my very first commentary, so please take it easy on me guys. Just trying to get the ropes of this, trying to feel it out, see how it works. It's definitely not as easy as I thought it would be. Sitting here with a mic and just talking about random stuff, different subjects that come to mind, my own opinions, that kind of stuff, while enjoying some nice Call of Duty gameplay. Now, you can imagine I've rehearsed this several times, and I've probably hit the stop play button, record button at least 150 times by now, and quite honestly, the intro is probably the hardest part of all of this. Now, I'm just watching this time go by on the timeline of the video, and it just seems like it's never going to end, and I'm going to be here forever. But all that being said, I'm going to give it my best, guys, so please bear with me. Some of the big commentators I listen to that have inspired me to kind of start my own commentary and see how this works would be White Boy, 7th Street, C9ers, a friend of mine from Xbox Live, AJ, aka One Man Army, I suppose. He's been doing a lot of commentaries lately, and I figured if he can do it, shoot, why not me? I might as well just go ahead and, give it a shot, see what I can do. A lot of commentaries I listen to, the subject matter is always probably the most important thing to keep in mind, or whatever you're going to be talking about. Some of the commentaries I listen to like to cuss a lot. I think we're all a little bit more educated in that than to use cuss words to describe the gameplay or whatever we're talking about. If you think about it, the definition of fuck or fucking is to have sexual intercourse. So it makes no sense to use it in a commentary sort of way. I'm pretty sure we can come up with smarter words than that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give it my best shot, and I'm gonna try to keep the F-bombs and S-words out of this. One of the things I want to talk about really is the recent death of Ryan Dunn, one of the jackasses from the Jackass movies. You guys all know him. I hope you do. If you don't, he was the guy that stuck a car up his ass with a condom. My bad. I just cursed. And this is harder than I thought. For real. Yeah, he died on Monday in a car wreck in his Porsche GT something. I don't even know what it is. All these luxury cars have such fancy names, it's hard to distinguish what's what. The police report says he was driving 110 in a 45 mile per hour speed zone. And just the other day I was listening to Fox. I read up on the story, and it was actually going 130. Now which speed it is, nobody really knows, but it's really sad what happened to him and how he went out. The toxicology reports are supposed to be in like 4-6 weeks, so I guess they're going to find out whether or not drunk driving was involved. Certainly a possibility, according to most people, because of the picture he tweeted. But then again, who knows? Yeah, but that's just one of the dangers of fast cars, and I'm not gonna say alcohol, but that's just one of the dangers of fast cars, when you're sitting on that much power, sometimes you just want to put the pedal to the metal, and unfortunately he did it at the wrong time in the wrong place. Me and a lot of my friends do have fast cars, and not to toot my own horn or anything, but for somebody my age, having a 2006 Mustang GT sitting on 300 horsepower, that's quite a bit. Some people my age don't even have a car like that, or if they do, they've probably wrecked it by now because the irresponsibility factor. I admit I'm not perfect. When I had my first car, I had a wreck. I had a pretty close call. Me and my buddy were going down this deserted dirt road, and I forget what we were doing. I had just moved to this area, and we're just kind of exploring new territory, seeing what's around, And we're just going down this dirt road, and I remember the back of my car, the rear tire just lost traction. We hit a pile of gravel. I don't know what it was, but the rear tire lost traction, and the back end of the car fishtailed. It swerved right. I tried to regain control, but I ended up hitting this rock, or I don't know what it was. I hit something and the front of my car jumped up and I lost control of the car, and we went sideways into a ditch that was at the time full with water. So luckily the car went in head first and came out on the other side, and that was definitely a big learning experience for me. Also, speeding tickets. 1 or 2 speeding tickets here and there will definitely slow you down. It will definitely take some weight off your lead foot. I try to live my life to its fullest. You never know, you know, when it's going to end. You never know what's going to happen. You know, as they say, you know, don't live your life. Don't measure your life by how many years you've lived. Measure it by how good those years were. And that was a quote I got from comedian Gabriel Iglesias. And I think it holds more truth than anything, because honestly, how have you really lived if you haven't done anything with your life? You live 100 years old, but there's no excitement. You haven't done anything exciting. You never went skydiving, never went to Vegas, never did something crazy and something stupid, you know? You know, that's just part of life. And one of the big mottos, or sort of questions I live by every day that I ask myself is, how will you be remembered? If tomorrow you leave, tomorrow you don't even have to pass away. You can, you know, move away somewhere, you know, quit your job, leave school, something, whatever. And you know, how will the people there remember you? What will you have done to be remembered as the kind of person that you want to be remembered as? You know, you certainly don't want to be the douchebag. You don't want to be the one nobody is gonna miss or nobody's gonna care about, you know. And I try to live to the best I can, and I try. See, this is hard. I'm having total brain fart right now. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But definitely one of my biggest fears is losing any one of my friends. I love all my friends. They're all near and dear to me. You know, I don't know what I would do if I lost one of them. I saw the interview with Bam at the crash site. If you haven't seen it yet, it's on Fox Philly News or something like that. You can Google it, but Bam basically visited the crash site of Dunn's, where Dunn crashed, and it's just really hard to watch, to see him go through what he's going through, and the pain he's experiencing. So I'm really hoping that doesn't happen to me or any of you or any of your friends. You know, it definitely is a shame. But yeah, one of my friends also had a pretty close call. I think his was a little bit worse than mine. He was coming over to my house one day and it was raining, and the lady in front of him slams on her brakes on the highway. This is on the highway, mind you. She slams on the brakes, and he ends up rear-ending her, loses control, and he gets rear-ended on top of that. So it was a 3 or 4 car pileup, I believe, and he got lucky. He only walked away with, you know, banging it. Look at this guy on the top left. Looked like Chris Angel Mind Freak or something. Floated away from the map. I don't even know what he was doing. But yeah, he was lucky to just walk away with a concussion, and I don't know what else it was, but he banged up his head pretty good. Luckily nothing too bad happened, and you know, he's still around for me to make fun of and hang out with, and you know, just do the kind of things that, you know, friends do. But I'm hoping this commentary and this gameplay is coming to an end pretty soon here, because I just ran out of. Okay, hey, sweet, look, perfect timing, man, sweet. Alright, well, that was my gameplay for launch right there, all with the commando. Okay, where's the score? Come on. Well, hopefully on my next commentary I'll do a lot better. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you around.